Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to talk about the 2026 Dodge Charger SIXPACK. Now, one of our readers on Mopar Insiders actually sent us some images of these new six-pack models actually sitting in a holding lot in Metro Detroit, which is really cool because this is the first actual photos we've been able to see of the front end. Now, mind you, these pictures aren't really that great because they're shot with a cell phone through a fence, a chain link fence, so they're kind of blurry a little bit, but nonetheless, we get an idea of what this new car is going to look like in actual real-life photos. Now, Dodge has sent us photos before during the Charger launch and showed us what the six-pack is going to kind of look like, but these are our first real live images of the car in public. We did see a black car testing. Well, technically it was sitting in somebody's driveway, but it was a new six-pack model that somebody took 2 shots of, so we got the back and the side, but we really haven't seen the front. So these pictures are very interesting because we're not only getting to see the 2-door, but we're getting to see the 4-door as well. So if you look at this picture right here, this is of a 2-door high output coupe, and you can kind of see that obviously this new internal combustion Dodge Charger looks more aggressive right off the bat. It looks meaner. It's got this mail slot grille up top for additional cooling. It still retains its like kind of 1969, 1970 look with the recessed headlights and stuff. But we also see that the air curtains on the side actually get bigger as well, which look like they pull more air into the brakes for this model. If we go down, we can see here's another coupe. And another thing that we actually can pull out of the details on this picture is they're going to offer different kinds of finishes for the wheels for 2026. We look here, looks like the same kind of wheel design, that dual kind of star pattern that we've seen on the RT, but now it's got a machined face to it, so that kind of looks nice. Here, again, high output coupe, we see that mail slot grille. We can kind of see a little bit because it's kind of hard to tell because this one's in white knuckle, the color. It's hard to pick out, but this power dome hood, so again, no R-wing for the standard Chargers. That's only for the Daytona. But you can see it kind of how domed this hood is going to be because of that inline 6. And then in the middle of it, it's going to have a heat extractor, which will say six-pack on it. But nonetheless, we can see that in this picture, we can really get to see that the front end has a really aggressive splitter that's painted gloss black, and it just kind of stands out really good. If we go down to the next image here, we actually get a really good look at the front end. And again, you can kind of see where that heat extractor is in the middle of the hood. But again, kind of how the angle is, it kind of is, deceptive. We can't really tell how aggressive that power dome hood is. And this is a triple nickel car. If maybe this car was like at a brighter color, like let's say like, red line or blue dacious, we could see it a little bit more. But nonetheless, we can see exactly that those air curtains on the side are bigger than what they were on the Daytona. The mail slot grille, you can kind of see that it will hide the new sensors for the front end in it. And then we get this black, big, chunky piece of plastic going across the top of the lower part of the fascia. And then below, we actually looks like it gets active grille shutters to pull more air into the, basically the intercooler and the front radiator. So a lot different than the Daytona, a lot more aggressive looking, it makes the car actually kind of look wider. And then on this last picture, this picture to me is the most interesting. So this looks, obviously it's a 4-door, and this is going to be the standard output car. But what's really interesting is if you look here in the middle of the grille, you'll notice that the DRLs stop. So it looks like these cars will follow the same kind of formula that the Daytona does. So if you don't get a plus package, you won't get the DRL that goes all the way down the bottom. We also see that it has the same wheels. So this has like the 17-inch wheels that we see on the standard Dodge Charger Daytona RT, and that looks like it follows the same kind of thing. So this is a base car here with basically no plus package. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Dodge lays out the packaging, but they should mirror each other from the Daytona and the normal Charger. But again, here's our first look at a 4-door out in public. So again, no R-wing, the power dome hood's there. This one's got the mirrors pulled up on it, but nonetheless, you can see the 4-door design. And the very interesting thing too is if you think about it, this car is actually going to compete directly with the outgoing 2023 Dodge Charger RT. So if you look at what the Dodge Charger RT had. It had the 5.7, basically a 345 cubic inch Hemi producing 370 horsepower and about 395 foot-pounds of torque. Compared to the new 3-liter inline-6 with the standard output model, that car will produce 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque. So that's an improvement of 50 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque over the outgoing car. So that's a huge improvement. Plus, these cars are going to have standard. Doesn't matter if you get a high output or a standard output. It's going to have standard all-wheel drive, which Dodge says you'll be able to shut off and have it into like a forced rear-wheel drive mode. And it will have the new 4th generation ZF automatic transmissions. So it's still going to be an 8-speed, but it's going to be built by Chrysler, and it's going to be the 880RE. So it should be even faster for shifting, more efficient. It should be just an all-out better transmission. So it's going to be really cool to see these cars in action, because these are rumored to be lighter than the outgoing cars as well. So hopefully we'll see a weight reduction, plus with more power, we're going to see a lot faster cars. If you go back up to the Coupe, here's the funny thing that people don't think about. The new Charger 2-door, if you compare it to the 2023 Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack, so you have the high output 2-door coming, compare that to the outgoing Charger RT Scat Pack, Challenger RT Scat Pack. Basically, you had 485 horsepower there, 470 foot-pounds of torque. Now you're going to have 550 horsepower and 521 foot-pounds of torque. So that's a huge improvement. That's 65 horsepower more and 51 pound-feet of torque more. And again, you're having standard all-wheel drive, and you're also going to have, that faster 8-speed automatic transmission. So these cars should be significantly faster. So it'll be very interesting to see how these things perform on the streets when they hit. Now, if we go back to what Dodge had sent us back a few months ago, or actually about a year ago, when they actually launched the Charger, we can kind of see the front end better in these images here. You can see that the grille is more open, and then you can see how big this power dome hood's going to be. It's going to be massive, so it should really stand out compared to the Daytona on the street. Again, the mail slot grille, you can see the sensors hidden in the grille here, and then you see that big chunky plastic front fascia, but then you see the active grille shutters down here below. So we see bigger air curtains. It'll give the car a much more aggressive appearance than the Daytona. The Daytona, in my opinion, is more sleek, kind of looks more clean. This one looks more aggressive. If we go back to the rear, really, when you look at the car, the only real big changes compared to the Daytona is obviously going to be the rear fascia. It's going to say Charger instead of Daytona on it. And again, the Fratsonic chambered exhaust is gone, and instead we get dual outlets out the back, which look to be about 4-inch outlet exhaust. So it's going to be sounding pretty loud. So nonetheless, we're going to see these cars hit the market. Well, first of all, they're supposed to start production. They moved production up, and we're hearing that they're going to start production in June. So they should start reaching dealers hopefully by the end of July. So we should see these cars on the roads in this summer. Like this summer, we'll be able to go to a Dodge dealership and buy an internal combustion Dodge Charger once again. Dodge is really eager to get these things out to, the people. A lot of people have been complaining about the Dodge, the Dodge Charger Daytona, the electric, version of it. It's been having problems. They still are working on that car. They're still having to do updates. I mean, people are still having bricking problems. There's just been a whole bunch of stuff, and it hasn't been selling that well just because of the price. So hopefully they can keep the price really aggressive, and hopefully we'll see something very, very soon, because again, these cars are due out this summer. So it's really exciting. We've seen that, this week, Ram has introduced that basically it's told their dealers, and we've heard from our sources that the TRX is coming back. So hopefully they're going to be planning a lot more horsepower with this car, whether it be inline 6 or they do something else. It should have way more horsepower coming very, very soon. So there's a lot of potential with this car. Even though people are complaining that it doesn't have a Hemi V8, I think they'll be shocked later this year with what they're going to do with this thing. So anyways, if you let me know what you guys think about this car. What do you think about the new 6-pack? Are you excited about it? Are you just done with Dodge because it doesn't have a Hemi or V8 in it? Let me know in the comments below. And then make sure to take and check out Mopar Insiders on a daily basis. We post 3 to 4 articles on there a day. And if you like the video, hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.